Hey boo, and welcome home to Revolution Tarot. So today I have decided to start a new series on my channel, and this series will be pertaining to the North Node in each sign of the zodiac. And this is the introduction video for this particular series. Also, in case you're wondering which source I have used for the information in these videos, the source is a book called Astrology for the Soul by Jan Spiller. Alright. Now this video particularly will entail how you can use this series to get to know yourself on a deeper level. And if you do not know how to calculate your North Node, then I will be giving the instructions for that in the description box below as well as in the pinned comment. So you can click on that link, you can put in your name, your full name, your date of birth, your time of birth and your place of birth, and it will reveal to you what your North Node sign is in, so that you can use this series effectively to understand what your destiny is and what your life purpose is. So now that the basic instructions are out of the way, let's get into this particular video. Alright. Now, what is the North Node? Or what is your North Node? What does North Node even mean? Or what is a node particularly? Alright. So the nodes of the moon are not planetary bodies. They are points formed by the moon's orbit around the earth intersecting with the earth's path around the sun. The direction of the nodes is counterclockwise. The North Node is the ascending node, which is the point closest to our North Pole, and the South Node is the descending node, the point which is closest to our South Pole. They are exactly always 180 degrees apart. Some astrologers use the true node calculation, which takes into account the actual wobbling of the moon's orbit. And some astrologers use the mean node, which does not take the wobbling into account. So this author particularly uses the true nodes, and the true node and the mean node positions are never more than 1 degree 45 minutes apart from each other. So what is the nodal axis? All the planets have a north and south node. The nodes covered in this series are called the north and south nodes of the moon, also known as the nodal axis of the chart. The information in the chapters and within this series is actually a description of the northern-southern nodal axis, although for the sake of simplicity, I have simply called it the North Node position. The South Node position in the chart, located at the point exactly opposite of the North Node, depicts an aspect in our character that has been overemphasized in past lives and thus tends to take over the personality in this lifetime and throw us off balance. When we are acting without awareness, we tend to act out the South Node position in response to our environment because we have been accustomed to that approach working to our advantage. However, in this lifetime, our experiences show us that approaching a situation from the stance shown by the position of the Southern Node in our chart is no longer working. Although the main emphasis in this series is on the North Node, the information in these chapters is actually an integration of both ends of the nodal axis. When astrologers refer to the nodes, they are generally referring to the north and south nodes of the moon. In astrology, the moon rules our feelings, our moods, dependency, insecurity, the feeling of belonging. It rules our emotional bodies. The moon rules our self-image, that is, the way we instinctively see ourselves regardless of what we are expressing in the world. I consider the moon to be the most important planet in the chart from a karmic past life perspective. It underlies the rest of the personality structure. In following the path of the nodes of the moon and thus rebalancing our emotional bodies, we are going a long way toward easing internal stress and reclaiming confidence in our individual beings. Signs and houses. For each of us, the North Node is located in a sign and in a house. The sign position can be obtained by consulting the table on the image on your screen on this video. And the videos within this series will give you all the information related to the signs of your north nodes, particularly in detail and in depth, so that you can realize your full potential. For the most complete view, I definitely recommend looking at your house position, which can also be obtained from a computerized birth chart or from a local astrologer. The sign in which the north node falls denotes the psychological shift that needs to occur within the personality. The house containing the north node shows the experiences that allow the person to access this new psychological awareness. In the author's experience, the house is at least of equal importance to the sign. The house position indicates the area in which the life lessons of the north node are learned. For example, if your north node is in Cancer in the 11th house, you are learning to get in touch with communicating your feelings, Cancer, through cultivating the energy of friendships and learning to go with the flow, 11th house. If your north node is in Aries in the 4th house, through getting in touch with your gut instincts, 4th house, you can discover and communicate who you are, Aries. Duplicate sign or house positions. If the sign of your north node is in the same sign as the house containing your north node, for example, north node in Gemini located in the 3rd house, which is also Gemini, or north node in Pisces in the 12th house, which is also Pisces, it simply means double the intensity of the same life lesson. Opposing sign or house positions. This includes north node in Aries in the 7th house, north node in Taurus in the 8th house, north node in Gemini in the 9th house, north node in Cancer in the 10th house, north node in Leo in the 11th house, north node in Virgo in the 12th house, north node in Libra in the 1st house, north node in Scorpio in the 2nd house, north node in Sagittarius in the 3rd house, north node in Capricorn in the 4th house, north node in Aquarius in the 5th house, north node in Pisces in the 6th house. If your north node is in a house opposing the sign of your north node, as noted above, it will be necessary for you to carefully and continuously check with yourself to find the right blending of behavior. Remember that generally the house indicates where to learn the lessons of the sign. The house is like a shell, the environment you need to support the content of the sign. For example, if your north node is in Aries in the 7th house, you are learning to develop a new sense of identity, north node in Aries, through becoming aware of the identity of others, north node in the 7th house. Through working cooperatively with other people and supporting them in reaching their goals, you will discover your own true identity. However, when you turn that around and focus on yourself, you lose your identity in trying to please others and be the nice person they expect you to be. In this case, the key to self-identity would actually lie in helping others in their search for identity. Overview. Each video in this series begins with an overview. The purpose of the overview is to offer a quick reference point and a way of remembering a practical formula for achieving your life purpose. In a stressful situation, which is when you have the opportunity to implement a new choice in behavior that can lighten your karmic load, it's useful to have a simplified way of remembering how to win or how to lose, to hold on to and practice. In working with the material presented in the overview section, I recommend that you take 1 or 2 points that seem the most relevant to you and then consciously practice to purify those qualities within yourself. Little by little, as you practice, the self-defeating tendency will dissipate and joy will begin to take over. Then, when you are ready, choose something else to let go of or consciously practice developing. It's a process. Although it takes effort and may seem like a tremendous personal risk, once you move forward, you will never be pulled back into the fears and limitations of the past. Some qualities take more time than others to purify or to let go of. Even if you are working to release a tendency that you worked on a week ago or a year ago, you will be working on it at a higher level and it won't be nearly as painful or difficult. In this way, growth is more like a spiral than a circle. As you progress, you will find life a lot less threatening and the things you desire manifesting more easily and naturally. A magic begins to flow as you find yourself emerging fearless, light, and free, as the invisible chains from the past incarnations begin to dissipate and fall away. Each video in this series gives a quick reference to the attributes to develop, tendencies to leave behind, Achilles' heel or trap to avoid, the bottom line, what these people really want, talents, profession, and healing affirmations. Attributes to develop. These are gifts, talents that are at your disposal in this lifetime. Just as you spent so much time and energy developing one aspect of your character in past lives, there was another part of you, the polar opposite, that was totally neglected. Thus, when you came into this incarnation, you were out of balance. We all were, but the imbalance was different for each of us. Life wants you to be happy, but as long as the imbalance exists, every happiness is going to be followed by an unhappiness. So you must consciously develop the part of you that was neglected in past lives by experiencing it and experimenting with and building on the talents and gifts described in this section. It's like a muscle that hasn't been used. Once you start exercising it, pretty soon it's built up and balanced with the rest of you. Developing the tendencies in this category will enable you to win every time. Tendencies to leave behind. These are tendencies that you and members of your group were born with. In past lives, these behaviors served you well. When you acted from these motivations, you won. So you came into this incarnation with a subconscious memory of success, and you keep pursuing the same behaviors that enabled you to thrive in your past lives. However, in this incarnation, these same patterns do not work. That is, they don't produce success, confidence, and ease. If you look back over this lifetime, you can see that these behavior patterns have never worked for you, although you keep enacting them over and over again. These qualities in and of themselves are not negative, but they describe part of your character that was overdeveloped in past lives. Lifetime after lifetime, you kept strengthening this one part of yourself from every possible direction until it grew out of proportion. So in this incarnation, it is set up in your astrology chart for these old patterns not to work. Basically, following these tendencies in this section will cause you to lose every time. Goals. This section in the videos within this series will deal with the group's orientation towards goals, their strengths and weaknesses in obtaining what they seek. The information can assist group members in seeing their blocks, thus empowering them to overcome their inner obstacles and achieve their external goals. Healing theme song. Music has a special way of making magic in our lives, as it has access to a part of our brain that isn't touched by the written word. The people in each nodal position face a different set of challenges, so I have written lyrics for theme songs uniquely suited to reaching and healing the underlying misunderstandings in each group. These songs are designed to shift the energy in a positive way that can come most effortlessly through music. To begin healing the process, partial lyrics from each of the songs follow each chapter. The full lyrics of all 12 songs has been set to music and are available on both CD and cassette tape. Although the message of each song targets those in specific nodal group, all of the songs are universally uplifting and have a healing effect on the listener, regardless of their nodal positions. Some definitions of terms in the videos within this series. Number 1. Past lives. The meaning of past lives is previous lives lived in other bodies prior to the incarnation in your present body. Number 2. Present life. This lifetime as lived in your body as you were born into in this incarnation. Number 3. Early environment. The patterns of behavior stimulated and enacted in childhood that you use to survive and cope in your childhood environment. These patterns duplicate past life tendencies. In fact, it is the unconscious past life patterns that are activated during childhood. Clearly, the environment didn't create these patterns or cause us to be this way, or they couldn't be predicted by the natal birth chart. We were born with these patterns ready to be activated. Number 4. Achilles heel, the weakest, most vulnerable point in the personality structure. Number 5. Karma, cause and effect, the results we experience from actions we have taken. Number 6. Native, a traditional astrological term referring to the group of people ruled by the sign being discussed. Number 7. The guides. Each of us is surrounded by our own invisible helpers who assist us in successfully navigating life's pathways. These positive helpers could be called guides, guardian angels, or simply the voice of intuition. Number 8. She or he. At times, I have used she or he to refer to a single person, but this is not meant to be exclusive to one gender or the other. Alright, my love. So this is the end to the introduction video of this series, and I hope that this video has given you the clarity as to how you will be using this North Node series within the signs that I will be making for you. And make sure that you tap into this playlist and listen to this introduction video first, so you get the entire clarity of what this series is going to be about and how this series can actually help you, and how you need to calculate your North Node particularly, so that you can listen to that particular sign as well as to that particular house that North Node is in, okay, and listening to that sign as well within the series, okay. And if you have any doubts, please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you are excited for this, because I am super excited to give this and bring this on to my channel for you. And I hope that you enjoy this. I hope you gain a lot of clarity from this, my love. Alright, so thank you so much, and do let me know if you have any doubts or questions in the comments down below. Peace.